Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this really crude drawing and asked how you could do this, and I don't understand totally. You've got a border around this, so I just kind of drew out part of it, and it's pretty easy to do. Uh, like some of the letters have arrows on them, and then this has evidently a slope. So we're just going to kind of go over this real quick. First of all, what I would do is get the shape tool and take this O and just get it out of the way. We don't need it. I'm going to go to the common shapes or basic shapes and grab the heart and make a heart about that size. And you can see it snap to the line at the bottom. So it's pretty close. Then I'm going to make that line about the thickness of the other. I'm going to call that pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and make it black, which doesn't really matter right now. And we could literally change this in just a second. I'm going to go to Object and break that apart and look at this L, and this L is 3.5 tall. And this is kind of, you have to do this last. You can kind of tell we need to go to Object and convert the outline to an object, and that gives us a truer height. So now we could make this with our ratio locked. We could make it that 3.5. And then you could take all these and go T or B. I'm going to go B and put them all on the same line. So that was pretty easy. And then if you had trouble spacing this out, you've got four different objects here. We're going to go to Windows, Dockers, Align and Distribute, and there's four different options. And you can kind of just go through them to the one you think is the most accurate, which is probably this one. And that is like spaces between the one side of the other to the other side. So that's pretty good. Now, we're going to take them all, and I don't have to do all the letters, but I'm going to left click, right click. I'm going to just go in and get rid of this O, and I'm going to bring this picture in so we can kind of see it. So first of what I'm going to do, this E has a little bit of a slant. Well, we'll do that in a second. I'm going to take the common shapes or basic shapes again, and I'm going to get an arrow. I'm going to use that direction the most. I'm going to hold down the control button so it's pretty perfect. Then I'm going to bring it into there, and you could do some measurements, but if you put that, basically if you put this bottom line on there, get back to your shape tool and grab this red box, you're going to still have to move the lines a little bit because it's coming from this inside out. So we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And that's, well, let's make it a little bit smaller. So I'm just taking the shape tool and bringing that in. And sometimes it's kind of hard to minutely move something. So a lot of times you can move back. And I'm not very happy with what I'm doing right now. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Move that out just a little bit. And that's pretty good. Let's call that good. Now what you could do, and you actually have to take the letter and convert it to a curve for this to really work. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to a couple of ways you could do. I could just do that. And then I could, let's zoom in here. Now those aren't not connected. I actually need to make this box a hairline so they'll kind of match up a little bit more. And probably the best way to do it would be to take let me see how big this is. 3.5 inches across. I got my nudge factor set on 4. I'm going to take my smart fill tool, make that shape, and then I'm going to left click, right click, and what that did, they put these nodes together. It locked them together, but now I can delete them. And our arrow or our letters might be a little bit, but you could just play with that. And then you do the same thing to all three of the E's like he has. And if you needed to shorten it, like we've made the arrow quite a bit longer, if you would take your shape tool and grab all those, holding down the control button, and you could bring that in And later on, you could actually do that in parallel, get them all aligned. Now, the other part is just take a 2-point line and go from one corner to whatever corner you want. And I would keep that line to do it if you have another letter and do kind of the same angle. Smart Fill Tool again, move that over, and there is that E with a little bit of a design to it or whatever it is. Now we've nudged so we can nudge right back. And then if we take all these and fill them with black, we have almost that design completed. I mean, you could do the same thing to the L. You know, I don't understand the arrows on top of the V or the ones on top of the heart. I'm hoping that's what he was asking. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.